Sage. How are you doing this fine evening? Don't even bother asking me how I'm doing. You know that I'm in a glass case of emotion, and I don't want to talk about it. But we can't take streams off just because we're feeling a little bit angry. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're doing Thunderful. I'm at the bottom of the barrel right now. You hope that I'm not near a bridge. Well, I might go a little Etika and jump off a bridge real soon here, Sage. Thank you for reminding me. There's a bridge in Bridgewater, about 30 feet high. That ought to be high enough to do the job if I land the right way anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens later on tonight. Anyways, I don't want to spend too much time on this shit. The fact of the matter is both the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees are tied, with the Jays having the tiebreaker for the division. The Jays, as of 7 games ago, had a 5-game lead on the Yankees. Well, that has evaporated like moisture going into the air. Steam, I think it's called. So, the Blue Jays now officially have to play as good or better than the Yankees in the final 4 games. Tomorrow's a bullpen day for the Jays. Who are they going up against as a pitcher? Tomorrow? I knew today Garrett Crochet. They weren't going to beat Garrett Crochet. Oh, we're up against Brian Bello. It says Louis Varland's going to be our starter. Okay. So yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes down. I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to the bullpen day. Pick your matchups, then save your 3 best pitchers to close the year. But if you kind of lose tomorrow, it's kind of all over, man. It's kind of all over. You know the Yankees are going to beat the White Sox, man. Then you get the Orioles, and, you know, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to just put it down right like that. What happened today in the Jays game? They lost 7-1. Max Scherzer let 4 earned runs, 10 hits, and 5 innings pitched. Had 5 strikeouts at least, but certainly not a good day at the office there. Brendan Little was effective, no earned runs. Jose Berrios, with his first, his debut, coming out of the bullpen, looked kind of like he did as a starter as of late. 3 earned runs, allowed a home run, 3 strikeouts, and 2 innings pitched. Not very effective. Thomas Nance was good, but he lost 7-1. Offensively, again, this is the problem for the Jays. 4 hits. Clement had a hit. Varsho had a hit. Straw had a hit. Kiner Falefa had a home run. He had 2 extra base hits, 4 hits total. Not going to get the job done. I do say, I really want to win the division, and I do. To me, it's a big deal. You win the fucking division. But you need to get your bats hot before the playoffs. So regardless, you got to get these bats turned around a little bit and start getting some momentum, because they're not just going to go hot as soon as the playoff starts. They need to find their habits. They're pressing way too much. Vlad got tossed. Miles Straw probably should have got tossed if Vlad got tossed. These guys are just pushing way too hard. They just need to take a fucking page on a fucking Aaron Rodgers playbook and just relax. R-E-L-A-X. Relax. But guess what? They're not doing it. They're getting very cold at the worst time. They were pretty cold after they went up big against the Yankees early, because then they went 20-20. And they got hot again. Now they're really cold, and they kind of need to just win 4 in a row. Like, if we're going to have another 4-game win streak, now would be the fucking time, just to get in as the goddamn fucking champions. Anyways, that's all I'm talking about there. I'm done with the Jays. Fuck the Jays. They, like I have in the title, they dropped the fucking ball. Worse than Russ Adams used to at shortstop. That's what they did tonight. And shame on them. Shame on them. Cal Raleigh hit his 59th and 60th home run of the year. Aaron Judge hit his 50th and 51st home run of the year. So those are your MVP frontrunners. I'll probably give it to Judge, but man, a catcher that's had this type of year is pretty astonishing. Well, the Tigers have choked in a bigger way than the Jays, because at one point I think the Cleveland Indians were like 15 and a half games back of first. Nobody thought that the Cleveland Indians had a chance at the playoffs, myself included. They were just flirting around. They were like 5 games under 500 or shit. Let me go back to the standings and just take a quick look at what they're doing now, actually. They're not a great run differential team, or at least they weren't. Yeah, still -2 run differential, so they're not great. 14 games above, so they play in a really shitty division, so that's what makes this possible. But yeah, they're 9-1 in their last 10. The Detroit Tigers are 1-9. The Detroit Tigers are actually they're not far away from being eliminated from the playoffs. Now, what I'm not understanding here when I look at the standings, they've got the Jays currently as a wild card team, but they have the tiebreaker against the Yanks. So I'm not sure why MLB.com has the Jays as the wild card team when they're both 90 and 68. The Jays have the tiebreaker against the Yankees, so that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it was 12.5 and 15.5. It was big. I think it was 15.5, Sage. It was quite a lot. Yeah, because they're Yankee fans. Absolutely. Because no, the Jays hold the tiebreaker. Now Houston can get in over Detroit. They're only a half game back. Obviously, like the Texas Rangers and all these other teams, they're eliminated. If they're not mathematically eliminated, they're actually eliminated for real. With 4 games left. I mean, Houston hasn't been playing good ball themselves, and they've lost 4 in a row. So here's some teams going into the playoffs. We think the Jays are playing bad, and they are. The Jays have lost 2 in a row. The Detroit Tigers have lost 8 in a row, so they're the last seed for the wild card at 85 and 73. Houston's lost 4 in a row, 84 and 73. I do not know who the tiebreaker would favor in this matchup. I think it's actually Houston, though. Could be wrong there. Red Sox 87 and 71, so, I mean, they're almost a lock to get in. I'd say they're practically a lock to get in, honestly. So, yeah, we'll have probably 3 teams in the American League East representing us yet again. Let me just see here. Sage says Springer got robbed on a hit. I didn't see that. I didn't actually watch the game. The other day they called it foul. Oh, I remember hearing about the one that jumped over the bag. And the umps are Yankees fans. That's why they called it foul. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, everything goes to New York, right? So it is kind of... I don't like that the head office is in New York, if I'm being honest with you. It's not really a good look. Maybe they should just put the fucking head office somewhere over in Europe, or somewhere where it's like impartial 100%, you know what I mean? Put it in fucking Iowa. But I digress. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to see if there's any NBA news. I believe we already went over. Fred VanVleet blowing his fucking knee. I think we went over that yesterday. Oh my God. We've got NBA news. We've got a little bit of NBA news, I think. The NBA news that we have is Quentin Grimes remaining far apart in their negotiations with the 76ers for a new deal. And he's a restricted free agent. So that's your fucking big news for the fucking day for the NBA. Take a look at the comments here, because that's it for the NBA, as usual. One and done, and it's usually nothing spectacular to go over. The problem is, why is it not reviewable? The ball being called foul is not reviewable. Sorry, a bit late. It should be reviewable. It's they're still kind of working the kinks on it. Remember, they didn't have a challenge system until a couple years ago, so they're a little bit behind, if you ask me. But they're catching up. Some of this stuff will be reviewable soon, I would assume. I would hope so, anyway. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. You couldn't challenge anything, and then next year you're going to be able to challenge whether or not it was a strike or not, right? So they are making big strides there. So that's going to be huge next year. The strikes. Now you got to be strategic with it. You're not just going to fucking challenge it in the first inning when it's 2 outs and you're in an 0-2 count and you swing or you don't swing or the ball, is over the plate or not over the plate. Yeah, they're going to expand the challenges. It's like anything. They're not going to have like their whole playbook opened up right away. We literally, was it less than 10 years ago? It had to have been less than 10 years ago. Might have been less than 5 years ago that they were able to challenge. It's less than 5. Pretty sure. I mean, you got to give them a bit of. Let me see here. Well, they're actually giving them, I think, 2 challenges. They give them 2 challenges, and as long and 2 challenges plus, so you can have as many challenges as you want if you don't get them wrong. As long as you don't have to burn those 2 challenges. So I think that's good. Like, that's going to be like good strategy is going to have to be involved, in my opinion. But you're going to have to actually be smart about it too. You don't want to just burn those challenges. When did the MLB add challenges? Okay, this is the ABS challenge. So, ABS challenge was first used in 2022. That's in the Florida State League, so some minor league complex. It's not that, it's less than 5 years ago. Instant replay. Oh, no, geez, 2014. I'm just trying to read here. Like, I don't want to get into all this. You can have an instant replay on fair and foul calls on balls hit into the outfield. Now, was it that it's just not in the infield? Because here is, I'll just read it verbatim as per Wikipedia. So the following plays may be subjected to an instant replay review. Home run or boundary calls including placement of runners, fair/foul calls on balls hit into the outfield, force plays and tag plays, catch/trap plays on balls hit into the outfield, whether, for example, whether an outfielder cleanly caught a ball or just trapped it when it touched the ground, essentially, whether a runner passed a preceding runner, time plays, whether or not a run scored prior to the third out, because that matters, missed bases, scorekeeping issues including the count, number of outs, score, or substitutions, whether a batter was hit by a pitch, collisions at home plate, Rule 6.01, okay, tag-ups, obviously, interference on double plays, spectator interference. In addition, the crew chief can use replay to review the following issues at any time, which is not considered a challenge: the count, the number of votes, and the score, substitutions, batting out of turn. Batting out of turn is something I've never seen, and a rules check. So they might want to update, so it's for foul balls hit into the outfield. Well, that's subjective because I don't know if you guys are right on that one. Not sure if you guys are right. Armando Galarraga was fuming after hearing challenges are a thing now after Jim Joyce ruined his perfect game. Well, that would have been nice if that was for Verlander, wasn't it? Wasn't it Verlander they fucked up, and then the umpire knew right away? It was considered infield and hit the ground before going into the outfield and bounced over third base. Well, there's no such thing as... It's not really... Oh, okay, so... It went over the bag. Yeah, they should have the ones for over the bag. They should probably have it... Well, no, Justin Verlander for the complete game when he was with Detroit, wasn't it? I'm not sure. Maybe there's another scenario that happened. Yeah, you should be able to check foul balls on the infield, though. If it's defined enough and there's chalk, why the hell not? But they actually have quite a few things covered. Like, it's not like football where you can't fucking challenge, like, fucking pass interference and all that shit, right? So that's, looks like it debuted September 3rd, 2008 when Alex Rodriguez hit a home run. So for home runs, yeah, they started a lot earlier. And then changes were expanded drastically in 2014. They should probably change a few more things, but they don't need a ton to go over. All right, we've got football tomorrow. We've got a pretty good ball game. We've got Seattle on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle is favored to win by -1.5. I think Seattle is the... it's tough to say. The Cardinals at home could be tough. Now, they don't have James Conner. I don't know who they got as their backup running back, so I'm not sure. Is it Trey Benson? I'm not sure I'm buying Trey Benson. I do like they got Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, among others. Their defense is a bit better. I think I'll say Seattle will win tomorrow unless Sam Darnold is sloppy with the ball and turns the ball over a couple times. Yeah, it's I think it's really if Darnold plays like shit turnover wise, then Seattle's game to win. I think they're the better team, but they are on the road, so you never know what's going to happen there. I will check your video out after Sage. Okay, I'm still not sure why the Yankees are listed ahead of the Blue Jays there, because technically they're not ahead of us yet. Alright, let's take a look at the Pete Rose Bowl cut. It's down to the nitty-gritty. I will be adding Jorge Polanco to my team as soon as Sage signs off on it. He'll be added tomorrow because Luke Keyshaw, the standout player that I found late in the year, will not be playing again for the Twins. Great little player there. It's currently 9-7 in favor of me, 12-4 in favor of Annette's awesome team against Alejandro's astounding team. Vlad the Impaler's up 9-7 against the Dock Sliders. And you got Orange Juicy Fruit 14-2 against Graham's great team. Don't really care about any of those other series. I will tell you, it is down to the nitty and the gritty with me and Sage. Currently it's 9-7. However, I will be tied. So it will be 9-6-1 once the Dodgers and Arizona Cardinals games get done. Because I will be adding 2 quality starts to, I got Ryan Nelson and then fucking Blake Snell with quality starts tonight. I feel like it's going to be really hard for Sage to come back in a way. I feel like innings pitched and strikeouts, I've got those out of the way. I feel like OPS slugging and on base percentage and average, I've got those out of the way, so that's 6. I feel like there's 6 guaranteed stats. Quality starts and wins could go either way, but that's all suddenly favoring Sage right now. Saves and holds could go either way, probably going to favor Sage. ERA could go either way, WHIP could go either way, but most likely those 2 favor Sage. Kind of comes down to stolen bases and home runs, because, I mean, it's all very close. The only thing is if I lose the championship with a 952 OPS, that's going to be like crazy. If I lose with a 952 OPS, that would be unheralded. To go 2 weeks with a 952 OPS, I don't think anyone's done that all fucking year. So I would be extremely fucking mad. Extremely fucking mad. But, you know, you never know. Like, some people just have a horseshoe up their ass. It is the Catalina wine mixer of cockfights. The fucking Catalina wine mixer. And we're mixing it up real good. But yeah, I don't know. The home runs could go either way. 23-19 in favor of me. Stolen bases could go either way. 9-6 in favor of me. Like I said, a lot of the stats you're winning and pitching could go either way, but they're all really favoring you. So all I really have to sit on for pitching is innings pitched and strikeouts, I feel. Zage, how do you assess this as my competitor? Do you kind of agree with the statement that it's kind of down to like it's 2 or 3 stats? Because even if quality starts, like I don't have to win quality starts. I'd like to win them, but I'm not sure. Although the home runs, both teams have hit home runs, 23-19. So, I mean, that can definitely change. The stolen base is 9-6. I mean, that can certainly change. It's really, I feel though like I'm going to favor myself for quality starts against you here. I am going to favor myself because I've just got more pitchers. I don't think you can catch up to innings pitched or strikeouts. I just don't think you can. It's a lot, man. 23 strikeout lead, 14 inning lead. That's quite a bit, man. Especially when I've got more arms. Like there's a day I think I got 4 or 5 arms on the go. Like, let me set my roster for tomorrow. Make sure it's good. How many guys you got pitching tomorrow? For starters, I don't really care about the relievers. I'm okay to say that you've got me beat there. Like I've got three starters going tomorrow. I've got Yamamoto, Drew Rasmussen, and Brian Bello for tomorrow. And 2 of these guys gets a lot of quality starts. Actually, those 2 have the most quality starts on my team. Who do you got going tomorrow, Sage? Just one? What starter is going for you tomorrow? So he says today was my last big day. Yeah, I saw you had Garrett Crochet, Hunter Green, and another guy going. So I did see you had some horses going. So on Maui, oh yes. On Friday I've got George Kirby and Shane Bieber going. On Saturday though, I think this is the day that you're not going to like to see. On Saturday I've got Cam Schittler, Michael Wacha, Yuri Perez, Spencer Strider, and Trey Savage going. So 5 starters going in one day. Then I think the weekends, I don't think you're going to lose. The weekends would be just with one starter, Bryce Miller. So I think starting pitching, I should be able to win. Sage has already looked at my starters for the week. That's where I'm saying it comes down to quality starts. It comes down to quality starts. And I think I'll favor you in the quality starts, even though you've been good. I just feel like it's kind of your last gasp. Like I feel like I'm going to get double digits or more, and you're going to be like 1 or 2 behind, maybe even a bit more. But you never know. Quality starts are hard to come by this day and age. I feel like wins could go either way. You win the bullpen though. You probably win the ERA, probably win the WHIP because you got more relievers than me. So you should be able to win like WHIP, ERA, holds, and saves. It's just I feel like the other 4 pitching stats pretty good. I'm going to win at least 3 of them. And then let's not talk about just the rotation. Let's talk about that offense a little bit. Sage says I need a quality start from every starter going forward. How many starts do you have left for the week? You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do you have like 5 starts left, or how many do you got left? 6, 7? Do you have any days where you don't have any starters going? You've only got 3 going the rest of the week? Holy fuck, really? You've only got 3 going the rest of the week, is that correct? Wow. So you're definitely not gonna like... Oh, shit. And then I think, didn't Eric Lauer transition to bullpen when the postseason had already started? I'm pretty sure Eric Lauer became a... because he was starting all year, and he had a good year for you. But then I think once like the Shane Bieber thing got settled, we were already in the playoffs, weren't we? Oh, you had Martinez go to the... Who the hell's Martinez? You've only got 3 starters going for the rest of the week. Jesus Christ, let me just see how many I've got going. That's fucking insane. Three for the rest of the week. Jesus. So tomorrow I've got 3. Then I've got... So that brings it to 5. And this brings it to 10. So I've got 11 starters going the rest of the week. So 11 to 3. That's where I'm saying I should be able to win or tie wins, quality starts, strikeouts, innings pitched. And then it's kind of a crapshoot for home runs and stolen bases. You would have to win both home runs and stolen bases, and even then, it might just get offset by my pitching. I mean, Jesus. But, man, you got to admit, man, if I was to lose this week and have a 950-some OPS, that would be a hard pill. Like, I'm hitting 295 as a team right now, man. 295 as a fucking team. I would be devastated. There's no way. This is the best baseball team I've ever fielded. I would honestly be devastated if I didn't win this year. I don't think there's any doubt. This is the best team I've ever put together. The best GMing I've ever done. I would cry. I would honestly fucking cry. I did change my strategy before the playoff stage. I usually go 7 or 8 relievers. No, yours was not the best ever put together. If you look at the players on my team, Dan, come on. Look at the players on my fucking team. It's not... Yeah, you're still number 1. Okay. Look at the players on my fucking team, man. It's a good thing I don't have Nick Kurtz on my team anymore. Because I didn't really need Nick Kurtz to get traded. You can still have fucking Eduardo Suarez or whatever. My team had an 818 slug today. Well, they said you can't give up yet. You never know. It's baseball. Look what the Jays did. I fleeced the trade for Corbin Carroll. Next year, though, I do want us to have the power to veto. If somebody's making a trade because they like the Yankees, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not accepting those types of trades. Well, I tied with Sage 2 to end the season. Sage says the other 2 he won. So Sage technically would have the tiebreaker there. Sage he ties a lot. I tied him twice in the season. Well, he also won a lot during the season. He was the second place team. So, there is that. What, the ties are rigged? What place did you even finish in, Dan? 6? 4th place. You had 147 and 152 record. He still finished under 500. In fact, there's only 2 teams that really performed this year well above 500. And that would be myself and Sage. Everyone else was 500 or under, pretty much. Katrina was the 3rd best at 14 over. Then the rest, 492, 484, 477, 427, 391 wins. I had a 613 win percentage. I had 16 ties. Would have been nice if I could have closed up with 200 wins, though. I would have felt pretty happy with that. I had an ESPN glitch happen to me in the finals. Dan says, I don't think it was ESPN glitches. I think it was Sage. You know what? I could second that. I could second that. I lost Gavin Williams. Fucking great game. And I won't forget that. If that's what cost me, I will pull up the stats and I'll go with that the rest of the year. And then I'll be the undisputed champion if it favors me. It wouldn't put... Sagegate is what's going on right now. You'd be stripped of 3 wrenches. Well, could you... Well, it'd be pretty easy, though. You could very well do it. I think it would leave a... Would it leave a watermark, though? Would it leave a watermark? I think it would, because I think if the commission... Maybe it wouldn't if the commissioners change it. No, I don't think it would it? Sage has been banned on Indie Game Cloud. Sage, if you did do that, I would hate you so much. You would lose your wrench. You wouldn't get banned, but you wouldn't be a fucking moderator here, I can tell you that right now. Sage thinks it would have showed on the transaction report. Well, let's test it out. Let's not test it out. Don't give Sage any fucking ideas for tomorrow to drop 3 of my fucking pictures. I like ESPN. The glitches I don't like, but let's get to Yahoo, our lesser league, the juicery. We don't have any scores to go over, but we do have a whole lot, and I do mean a whole lot of moves to go over. First move, we've got Trey Tucker going to touchdowns in your face. We got Jordan Davis being added by 4th quarter Steven for Zach Sealer. Great player. Hasn't performed this year. He's gone. Cooper Kupp recently dropped by touchdowns in your face. Added by Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts in favor of Troy Franklin. We got Trey Benson going to touchdowns in your face. We got Drew Phillips coming to 4th quarter, Steven. They've had a lot of problems in their secondary. They're hoping Drew Phillips of the New York Giants can help shore up their secondary. Being dropped was Demodor Lenore. He's gone. Of San Francisco. We got Daniel Jones being picked up by Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts. Being dropped is Matthew Stafford. This is extremely ironic for someone that says they hate the Colts to be adding Daniel Jones. We got Tyreek Stevenson being added to TDs in your face. He's a cornerback from Chicago. The one that made that big stupid play last year that Jaden Daniels flared it up for the Hail Mary completion there. A miscue, if I've ever seen one. You got 4th quarter Steven really looking to rebuild this secondary. Tyson Campbell of Jacksonville being brought in for Alontae Taylor. You had 4th quarter Steven so fucking angry at his kicker, Brandon McManus, that he dropped his sorry ass and picked up Joey Sly of the Tennessee Titans. You got Patchwork Pigskins making a nice little play here, picking up Tyquan Thornton. I believe he's a rookie for Taj Brooks, wide receiver. Not for Taj Brooks, for Tyreek Thornton. Big body, that's a Montavis Bryant type of guy. You got Andrew Van Ginkel being added to Patchwork Pigskins in favor of Alex Singleton. It's a good move because he's got the ability to play linebacker as well as defensive end. You've got Sage trusting in Calvin Austin, who has been kind of a favorite target of Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, but also being dropped by Tommy Callahan's auto parts is Caleb Johnson. I think last week he against New England he didn't see one carry. So Caleb Johnson, a highly touted rookie, is a free agent. However, he is buried behind Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. And finally, continuing to rebuild this secondary. Fourth quarter, Steven has picked up Cam Curl and dropped Jaquan Brisker. Whoo! There's a lot to go through right there. Let's take a look at the comments. Okay. Dan says, I dropped Altuve. Just kidding. Sage says, I think it's the timing of when you do the moves from what I've been reading, and ESPN has a panic for whatever reason. I don't like that, though. I do mine I always do it at stream time. Or earlier. Like, sometimes I'll do it twice. Sometimes I'll do it for the week. Then I go through during stream time, and I make sure I made the move, right? Dan says, I never made a move this week. Didn't have to. Sounds like a lot of managers aren't confident in their teams to me. All my players are on the trade block. Get at me. Caleb isn't playing. Dude's third string now. So, yeah. Caleb Johnson, surprised. He was very toted. Very toted. That's stupid. So you gotta check in the fucking morning, too, potentially, when you get up? Are you fucking kidding me? That makes no sense. For whatever reason, it resets you up. How come some guys are in there, though? NFL has to stop with the 10 a.m. games. Is it 10 a.m. our time? 10 a.m. Eastern? 10 a.m. Central? It's only when they go over to Europe, which is not very often. Because I go over the moves, right, Sage? So I'm doing it. When I'm on there, I'm setting my roster to make sure. Like right now, I'll go back and I'll check it again, right? So tomorrow, I can confirm it's 9-6-1. The score has changed, as predicted. So I go to tomorrow, and I got Yamamoto, Drew Rasmussen, and Brian Bello. I'm taking a picture of it because, frankly, I'm not trusting Sage. I'm not trusting him one fucking bit. Take 2 pictures in case he tries to delete one. We'll stow one away. I think Sage needs to be suspended in the off-season. He needs 2 weeks where he just goes and he sits in a truck by himself. 10:30 our time, 9:30 in the morning Eastern. Sage, will you be up for the Steelers and Vikings this weekend? On Sunday. Dan could be bitter that he was eliminated in the first round. Absolutely. I'll come up with. I'll do my due diligence. I'll certainly come up with an investigation. I'll yield my results for you guys tomorrow. I think there's something to it. The only one that I know it's not is me. And I've already investigated myself, so there's no need to go down that road. Okay? Alright, well, Sage, good luck. Please add Jorge Polanco for me tomorrow. I do need a second baseman. So you're getting rid of Luke Keyshaw, the guy that has the O symbol. I do need him. And that's a shame, because Luke Keyshaw, I just want to give him a big shout out. I got him late in the year. I didn't have a second baseman the entire year. 827 OPS and 182 at-bats. What a find. This kid's going to be an absolute stud. He had 14 stolen bases as well. That's a good point, Sage. Sage does make a nifty little point there. All right, it's time. It's time. It's Vader time. It's time to get the hell out of here. Have a good night, guys. Sage, if I message you and change my mind about Jorge Polanco, you need to listen to me. But for now, Jorge Polanco. Go enjoy your fucking run escape, okay? All right, have a good night, guys. See ya.